I want to talk to you about the bravest man I've ever met. He's also probably the most self-sacrificing person that I've ever met. He's a hero of the civil rights movement who you have probably never heard of. And to make all of this relevant, to give you all the background, we need to spend a little time talking about the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan seems really old-fashioned these days with the robes and the crosses. It seems like something from a million years ago, but it's really not. I'm not that old, and I remember my family driving down to Disney World and seeing this sign. I'm Jewish, and it scared the hell out of me. I can't imagine what it did to black people. We were going to Orlando. That's 45 minutes away from Cape Canaveral, where NASA shoots off its rockets. A while back, I led a discussion at the Smithsonian with astronauts Mae Jemison and Leland Melvin. These are two people who sat on top of rockets that shot them into space. We were talking, and they agreed that the most scared they've ever been? Driving at night around Cape Canaveral. The Ku Klux Klan is the reason why. Ben Green wrote a history about this part of Florida.
In Brevard County, the home of Cape Canaveral, going back to the 20s, they used to have Klan parades. They had a junior Klan for young people. They had elected officials, city commissioners, county commissioners.
In Orlando, a Klansman was the sheriff from 1948 to 1972.
Local businessmen joined the Klan almost like joining the Rotary Club.
And the thing that made this so terrifying, remember, the Ku Klux Klan were terrorists.
Florida had the highest per capita rate of lynching of any southern state.
Terrorists were running this part of Florida. Now you know why they're trying to whitewash history in the Florida schools. So that's all background for this story about bravery. It's about someone else who was on that panel that day at the Smithsonian. This is Julius Montgomery. Everybody knows the name of the first black player in Major League Baseball. Most people can name the first person to integrate the University of Mississippi. But how many people can name the first technical professional ever hired at Cape Canaveral? And who can name the name of the man who integrated the Florida Institute of Technology? And how many Americans know that the same man did both? Julius Montgomery joined the space program in 1956. He was the first black man hired at Cape Canaveral as anything other than a janitor. But unlike Jackie Robinson, unlike the Little Rock Nine, who integrated Central High School a few weeks later, unlike Mae Jemison, as she waved and boarded the space shuttle, as Julius Montgomery walked to the entrance of Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, in the heart of Klan country, there were no reporters. There was no one from the NAACP to offer support. Julius was completely alone. He reached the lab, swung open the door, and faced a room full of angry white men.
The first day I was there, nobody would shake my hand. I got to the last fellow. I said, "How are you? I'm Julius Montgomery. And, boy, you don't talk to a white man like that." I said, "Oh, forgive me, oh great white bastard." I really did say that. And he laughed, I laughed, and then we shook hands. And so I said, "Look, I'm part of the educational program to train you guys to act like people. You've been acting like rednecks all your life, so you need training, retraining." Go there and like that too much,
But Julius didn't stop at just integrating the space program. The Florida Institute of Technology started life as Brevard Engineering College. Classes met in a public junior high school. The college was run by Dr. Jerome P. Cooper, who worked with Julius at Cape Canaveral.
So he put up a notice. All those interested signed the paper he put up on the board. So I signed it, of course, put down Tuskegee.
Because that's where Julius went to college. But remember, this was Klan country. A few days later, the county superintendent of schools was on the phone to Dr. Cooper.
He was told, "I'm sorry, but this fellow here is from Tuskegee, so he must be black. He cannot come to this classroom."
Dr. Cooper was desperate. If Julius didn't drop out, they would kick the college out into the street. He begged him, "Please drop out."
So I said, well, okay. After a short conversation, I said, for the better good of everybody, I take my name off the list. So we became friends. He said, as soon as I get my own buildings, you are welcome. And that was true. He did.
Florida Tech never forgot what Julius Montgomery did for them, how he saved the school from dying. They created an award in his name that they gave out every year. And then a few days before Julius died in 2020, they gave him an honorary doctorate. I give talks about Julius from time to time, and it's such an honor. There's a certain type of civil rights hero that we all know about, the people who protested and the sit-ins and the people who fought. People like Julius Montgomery are a different kind of hero. There are dozens of these people, especially at NASA, who serve the cause of equality just by showing up for work every day. I wrote a book about them. They had to be the best. They could not fail, and they did not fail. We need to remember their legacy.